What's up? New video. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about sound designing. We're going to make some cool sounds. I want to deep dive into what is sound designing exactly, how to approach sound designing. I can see that sound designing is a pretty big topic quite often. But sound designing is such a broad spectrum of things. It's not just one thing. So let's go, guys. Let's go. So here I have, first I have a project 130 BPM and I have some drums in my machine. If you cannot see the machine, it's over here. It's a hardware piece. But here is the plugin. So this is what the loop sounds like. Very basic. And if I unmute the kick, this is what it sounds like. I will mute the kick. I really like to start working with my kick muted. I don't know. It's just something in my process. So I will close this, and whenever I will make any adjustments on the machine, I will open the plugin so that you can actually see what I'm doing. 4-bar loop, and we're gonna start making some cool sounds. So I am... I will take the Repro 5, actually. If you don't know the Repro 5, it's from VOYOU, great plugin. They also made the Diva plugin. Maybe you know that one, it's quite famous. So, sound designing, as I said, it's a very broad topic. There is so much that comes to sound designing. And in this video, I particularly want to focus on the creative part of sound designing. Sound designing can be carving out the right sounds when you're making a big pop production, but it can also be coming up with creative sounds when making house music or hip hop or whatever. But I mean, obviously we're focusing on house now. When you go further into a project and you get to like finishing a production or maybe even mixing, it's still sound designing. Like when you're EQing and carving out the right frequencies that you need for a vocal or for a kick drum, that's also sound designing. But it's also part of mixing. You know, sound designing comes into play on so many different levels of music production. So now we're really gonna focus on the creative part and how to like broaden your boundaries when it comes to sound designing. So what I usually like to do is, obviously, I will just go through some presets. But now what I actually want to see if I can do it is just grab a template. I thought this plugin had some templates. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a basic square wave. One oscillator activated, the other one is muted. This is the mixer. And I have basically no filter on it. And obviously if there's no filter, the envelope filter doesn't do anything. So very basic, no modulation, at least. Okay, yeah, there was some modulation. Now the modulation is completely off. Now we literally only have this sounds. Now, when I will work, and I will start from scratch like I'm doing now, which I don't often do, but usually this happens when I'm working on a hardware synth. A good friend of mine has the Repro 5, the real one, the Prophet 5, and it's so much fun. But then basically it has presets because it's it's hybrid. But the fun part about that synth is just going and starting from scratch with something. So that's basically what we're gonna do now. And I'm just gonna hold a note and I'm gonna start playing with some parameters. Now the pulse width, what does the pulse width do? The pulse width makes on a square wave the movement of the square wave longer. So normally you will have a square wave which will be like symmetrical, and then once you start pulling the pulse width, it will start widening the lower part of the square wave. So let's do something like this, and then, or maybe we can just go with this one doesn't do now. Let's start adding the second oscillator, oscillator B. Okay, so I created some sort of stab. Very blend still, but okay, so what did I actually do? I added the second oscillator, oscillator B, I just mixed it in. I played a bit with the triangle wave and, with the sawtooth wave and with the triangle wave. And I'm just playing, guys. There's no method to this. Obviously, I know what they do, but it's always a little bit of a guess of how it's gonna react in the exact settings that you have, because just a tiny change will completely change the sound. So let's actually start by making playing some stab or something, so that we can have some MIDI and we can actually start recording and playing with that MIDI. Nice. As you see, there is quite a bit of drag in there. Let's listen. I like that one. So let's take this one and then we can just delete the rest, and then I'll just perfect this one a little bit to my taste. And I'll just loop it. Well, maybe I will actually make a variety. This is all part of it, guys. This is all part of the sound designing. It's not just diving into a synthesizer. It's also coming up with the right chords, coming up with the right sounds. Okay, so I think we're in an F minor. That one is too fast. And then let's make... It's not too bad, but... That one is a bit boring. That one is also a bit boring. That's cool. Okay. That first one feels a little bit rushed, too much. Maybe it should be... Okay, so let's start by playing with the filter. Okay, so if you don't know what the envelope amount does, the envelope amount on the filter will decide how much of this envelope over here you actually want to add on the filter. If I have this envelope amount off, the filter will just be fixed on this value that I've set it to. Once I will start adding the envelope amount, it will start using this envelope to control the filter. So if I set it with a very fast attack, semi-short decay, and a very short sustain and release, it will like close the filter as soon as the note hits. But it will be open when it starts. Now, if I prolong these notes, you will hear it way better. Do you hear it? And if I set it with a very slow attack, it will open the filter from a closed position. I like to have the attack like quite fast, maybe on this one. I actually like the longer notes, but maybe it's just a bit too long. Something like this. It's nice. So I do want some of the envelope, but not this much. Let's start by adding some of that modulation that was on here. Don't hear it. What is this now actually? I also have to figure this one out sometimes. What is this one now actually modulating? Maybe. I do hear it. Oh, I like it like this. I think it is modulating the actual frequency of the two oscillators. Adding some wheel modulation. So now with the wheel modulation, I will set it on LFO. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I understand now. Okay, so with the wheel modulation, I am hitting, like with my hand, I am touching the wheel of the keyboard, and then I can apply the amount of modulation that I want by moving the modulation wheel up. And then over here, you can set it either on LFO or on noise. And I want the LFO to trigger the modulation, or to make the modulation. And I want it on frequency A. And we're also using the pulse width because the square wave is activated. So let's also take pulse width A. And then over here, I can set the rate of the LFO that is actually then modulating this frequency and the pulse width. This is nice. I like that wobble. Maybe we can move this one 7 semitones up. Maybe 5. This is cool. So what happens actually when you move the frequency up over here? So basically, I am moving the root note up 5 semitones, which makes a chord differentiate from how it was before, because basically, seeing that this one is still on the root note of C, and I'm playing an F in an F scale here, but then what's happening with this one is I'm actually moving it 5 semitones up. So these two chords are getting a oscillator which is playing the same chord but 5 semitones up. So basically now you get this chord 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This, I need to duplicate it. Please duplicate for me. This is now basically the chord that we're actually playing, because these additional notes are also being triggered by this oscillator because it's not in a C now. So, and then let's go to the effects and start adding some of the effects. just playing, guys. Sorry if I'm quiet, but I'm just playing. And so this is basically the feedback of this delay. And then I like this. Let's go back to the synth and actually start doing some more stuff. Doing some... Please, if you like this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It really helps. And are you a producer who wants to finish more music? Do you want to have more releases? Then take a look at the Production Blueprint online course. The link is in the description. In the course, there is a full guidance from start to finish on how to produce your tracks up to how to release them. I share my experiences from producing in studios as the Armada Music Studios, Wisslord Studios with artists such as Luc van Dijk. Take a look at the Production Blueprint. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. Back to the video. I like this. Nice. Okay, so let's see if maybe we can carve out some more stuff in here. Just looking at the frequencies. And I am going with my well-trusted Guitar Rig 6 over here. One of my favorite plugins. If you haven't seen that video, I made a video on my top 5 favorite plugins of the moment. I'll tag it in the description. It's also on the channel. And let's go find some components. I'm not going to use any presets for this. I'm just going to use some components. And I want to start maybe adding a new filter. And we'll go with the double filter because I really like this double filter. And then I think that I can actually use... there is... I don't know. There's a modifier. I think maybe it's an envelope. And then I think that what I should be able to do is modulate this to the... Okay, that's quite nice, but maybe this is not the right filter, so I will just change and I will go to the filter bank and I will do the same thing. And then I will actually modulate. I will actually just modulate the shit out of it. Hey, this is interesting. Maybe we can actually do this with an LFO, see, or with a step sequencer. Maybe that can be cool. Let's modulate it with a fast attack. Tempo, maybe we can put the tempo on a 16th. Or maybe it should be slower. Or maybe an LFO. You can mute this one. That's cool. Maybe the rate can go up. Let's add the kick. So I'll open the machine quickly so that you guys can. Oh, I'm not really doing anything special, but I'm just unmuting the kick and then. Nice. Okay, so this is really cool. So let's start adding some sidechain on this. Just a bit so that it can start communicating with the kick. Cool, and let's go for this system 8 now. And I will just grab some keys. Maybe this is not the right choice. This is such an experimental synth, but it's so cool. That's... Oh, it's an arpeggiator. Well, I have the feeling we're kind of going towards deep house, so let's go with some... That. This is actually really cool. Okay, so this is a completely different part of sound design, but still very much sound design. So I have an idea from what I want to make. I want to make a synth, a sound that kind of moves upward, like a sort of rising swell that I can use every 8 or whatever bars. So the fundamentals are already there. So I will make the release, because I can hear the release of this filter envelope is very long, because when I hold it and let it go and then press it again quite fast, the filter is still open. So I want to close this, and then it's very fast, and that's what I want. And then I'm just gonna play. Okay, and I want the attack to be even slower, because I really want that rise there. Let's just loop this. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's create a chord out of this to make it more interesting. So I'm gonna... Let's just quantize it. Oh, it's on... I think... Where is the polyphonic? Oh, here it is. like that. Okay, and then straight away I'm gonna add sidechain to it because I want to have that pumping effect on this. Nice, and then I'm gonna mute my kick again. I'm not gonna open machine, but I'm muting my kick. Amazing. And what I am going to do is I'm actually going to close the filter a little bit more. A little bit less. Amazing. And then I am going to lower it a bit. And then I'm going to duplicate this. And then basically what's going to happen now is I'm going to use it as a transitional point. So I'm going to have this in my track. And then from there on, I'm going to go over to the kick. But before I'm going to do that, I really want this sound to be even cooler than what it already is. So I am going to... I'm going to do some stuff with it. I'm not sure yet what. I like it. Maybe I can sometimes sound designing is also about knowing when to leave stuff, and it sounds really cool already. Maybe it's just a leveling thing that it needs to be a bit softer. Maybe I can just add some distortion on here. Let's see the type, maybe some fuzz or some, I think, yeah, there's fuzz. And then maybe the tone. That's actually really cool. Nice. And that's actually it. So I'm gonna just leave it. And then maybe here we can go and add a bass. So I will go to maybe Diva. Diva has some nice bass sounds. Go to the presets. And a while ago I got a new pack. Not sure yet. Not sure anymore which one it was. It's organic. It wasn't the organic house. The organic house was a bit too sensitive for me. Eee. It's a really cool bass line. Let's quantize it. I really like this bass line. I actually really like it. Let's delete this because I really like this part. And let's see, it is over here. And then I'm just going to put it like this and then loop it. I hope that the loop... No, it's not killing it, so that's amazing. Is here a double MIDI note? No. Why is that? I think that this one just needs to be a little bit... This is also something really nice to know about sound designing, guys. When you have a bass and the velocity of the bass, the higher the velocity of a bass sound, the more high frequencies you're going to have in your bass sound, because you're literally hitting it harder, and therefore there's going to be more high frequencies. If you want to be your bass, have your bass very subby, the velocity should be a little bit lower. So now I have and of course with my bass now I can also start sound designing some stuff on my bass. What I really like to do is actually on bass sounds is grab the guitar rig 6 and then go to the bass presets, and those bass presets are so cool. Woo. Hey, crazy amount of compression. A bit too much compression. There you go, guys. We made a banger. I actually really like it. Let's listen to it from start to finish. I'll open the machine so you can see me unmuting the kick, whatever value that has, but it feels a bit weird if I'm just using some analog gear that you cannot see. Well, it's not analog, I mean hardware. Oh, let's start. Oh! It's actually really nice. But, so there you go, guys. Sound designing. So sound designing, this is the more creative part, of course, but the whole point of this video is basically just start pushing your boundaries and just don't think about actually what you're doing, but also maybe start learning by doing, you know, like what is actually happening when I tweak this button? What is actually happening when I tweak this button? But don't, I don't know, sometimes I have the feeling when I have students or so that they're thinking about this sound designing, that is this very specific thing where you use crazy EQs, and it's not necessarily. This is also sound designing, you know, making that sound using the sidechain, making sure that the filter opens at the right time with the sound that we made like the transitional effect thing. You know, that's also all sound design. But then when you're working on vocals, it's also sort of sound designing when you're carving out the right stuff. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.